Hi, third grade friends. Happy first day of school. Today, I am going to read you one of my all-time favorite stories to read on the first day of school. And I'm sure you may have already heard it, but I'm still going to read it to you anyways. First Day Jitters. So, of course, we should all know jitters means nervous. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree that maybe not this year, but sometime in our school career, we have been a little jittery or nervous about coming to school. I know I have. And to tell you the truth, almost every year I get nervous. Oh, what if my class doesn't like me? Am I gonna have any new friends? I think those are all things and normal feelings that we have. So, again, one of my favorite stories, and another reason it's my favorite is because the character in the story actually has the same name as me. Does anybody remember my first name? Well, you should have it in your mind since I can't be with you right now to share it, but think of it in your head, and as we get to the character, you can check and see if you're right. Of course, you should know my name is Mrs. Harp, but can you remember my first name? All right, well, I can't wait to read you this story. First Day Jitters. "Sarah dear, time to get out of bed," Mr. Hartwell said, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. "You don't want to miss the first day at your new school, do you?" So, stop for a minute. Can you think about what the main character's name is? If you guessed Sarah as my first name, you are right. "I'm not going," said Sarah and pulled the covers over her head. "Of course you're going, honey," said Mr. Hartwell as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. Were any of you a little bit like that this morning waking up? I know you didn't come to school, but Mom and Dad probably woke you up a little bit earlier than you're used to. Was anybody a little grumpy? I know Owen and Olivia were both a little grumpy this morning. "No, I don't. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school," Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. "How can you hate your new school, sweetheart?" said Mr. Hartwell. "You've never been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. And this year, you're going to get to meet a lot of friends too. Although we might not be together, virtually, we're going to become all best friends." "That's just it. I don't know anybody and it'll be hard and I just hate it. That's all." I don't know about you, but that is not a good attitude to have. Thumbs up if you agree with me. "What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming." Uh-oh. Would they have to call the police for a search team? "They will think I'm lucky and they will wish that they were at home in bed like me," Mr. Hartwell sighed. "Sarah Jane Hartwell, I'm not playing this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure we've all heard that kind of tone from our mom and dad, because I know sometimes I have to do that with Olivia and Owen. Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom and she fumbled into her clothes. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. And then they were there. I feel sick, said Sarah weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Mrs. Burton. Sarah slumped down in her seat. Does anybody remember who our principal is? That's right, Mr. Richardson. Oh, Sarah, Mrs. Burton gushed, peeking into the car. There you are. Come on, I'll show you where to go. She led Sarah into the building and walked quickly through the crowded hallways. Don't worry, everyone is nervous on the first day, she said over her shoulder as Sarah rushed to keep up. Now I'm gonna hold it up here for a minute and I want you to think, who or where do you think Sarah might be in this crowd? All right, we'll see if you're right. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. The class looked up at Mrs. Burton as she cleared her throat. Class, attention please, said Mrs. Burton. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and said, Class, I would like you to meet Are you ready for my favorite part? Your new teacher, Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell. How many of you knew that it was actually the teacher? So, think about this. And like I said in our video the other day, new is scary and this is different for us. You might love it and feel comfortable being at home, but you might kind of feel a little nervous. What's it going to look like this year when I can't come to school every day? But think about everybody's nervous. And when we try new things, sometimes we have to just give it a try and then we end up loving it. So again, First Day Jitters, one of my favorite books. I hope you enjoyed it. Packet. And I would like you to work on this very first page. School Day Jitters. So I want you to take a couple minutes and read it. You might want to read it by yourself once, read it out loud to mom and dad, read it together, whatever you feel comfortable with. But then, after you're done reading it, there are some questions that go along with the story. So I want you to take your time, go back to find your answers, and write them here. Now, I do not need to see this paper. I'm gonna trust that mom and dad are gonna kind of check over it and look over it with you. Now that always won't be the case. A lot of times I will like to see your work, but today for this, just a little practice, getting us used to writing again. It might have been a while since you guys have even picked up a pencil, which I hope not. But friendly reminder, the things that I, in third grade, need to see when you're writing are capital letters, your sentence must make sense, and it should end with a period, okay? So mom and dad can kind of help you with that today, but I would like you to see if you can go back and find the answers and then they can check it for you, Okay, so when you are all done with that, remember, I don't need a picture of it. I don't need to see it. I know that you've done this because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to log into Schoology and you're going to find the language arts section, the reading section, and there should be the discussion board with a little question that goes with both stories. Okay, so I know that you've done all of the assignments, which would be 1, listen to my story, 2, reading this one and answering the questions, and then the third thing that you have to do is you have to go on to Schoology, which hopefully you're already on it because you're watching the story and watching me. You're going to go to the discussion board and answer that question. Okay? All right, have fun. Can't wait to see what you guys do for all your discussion posts. Talk to you soon. Bye.